Hi guys, it's Rara Rin here from YouTube, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit different from my usual content on my channel, but is still quite important to me personally. So today I'm going to be talking about Spoonie Shakespeare. Now, what the heck is Spoonie Shakespeare? In order to answer that question, I have to first tell you what a spoonie is. Now, for those of you who don't know, what I advise you to do right now is to stop this video and go to Google and look up the spoon theory, which is, I think, written by Christine Miserandino. And if I remember, I will put a link in the description below. But basically, if you just Google the spoon theory, you're going to get it. For those of you who do know, then you don't need me to explain. But yes, those of you who don't know, go and read it right now, and I will wait for you. So stop the video, go read it. It will help you understand things, and also it's a pretty interesting read, I think. You know, opens your mind to other things and so on and so forth, so I've heard. So yes, go. I'm waiting. Okay, welcome back. And hello to everybody who didn't need to look that up and just sat through 3 seconds of me staring at the wall. Anyway, so after that enlightening read that you've had, I should state that I am a spoonie. I think I vaguely mentioned my conditions briefly on this channel before, but never really in any full detail. And I think in the future, I might do a more extensive video, maybe talking about my own experiences and, you know, just elaborate a little bit on it. But as it is right now, the focus of this video is not that. So I'll just briefly go over it. I am a spoonie. I have an invisible chronic illness. I've been diagnosed with both chronic fatigue syndrome, otherwise known as ME, or myalgic encephalopathy. I think that's the right term. And I've also been diagnosed with idiopathic hypersomnolence, which is also known as idiopathic hypersomnia, I think, in the US. So yes, those are the two things I've been diagnosed with. And they are quite similar in terms of how they manifest themselves. So basically, the idea is that I get incredibly tired very easily. I sleep 10 to 12 hours every night, which is not as luxurious as it may sound to some. And when I wake up, I'm not rested, and I still need to take naps during the day, sometimes on top of that. I also get incredibly tired very quickly, doing just physical exertion, mental exertion, you know, all sorts of things. So I need to take regular breaks, or if I power through and I do a thing, if I do a lot of things in one day, then for the next couple of days I'm basically crashed, and I can't do anything for those next few days. So yeah, so it sucks. And one of the things, getting back to the original topic, which is Spoonie Shakespeare, one of the things that my conditions have stopped me doing, which I was previously quite passionate about, is acting. So obviously acting requires quite a lot of physical and mental exertion, and it also requires a lot of commitment. So there's not only the physical side of getting out there and moving your body around, doing your stuff, there's also the mental side of, you know, controlling your expressions and learning your lines and things like that. And that's all in itself quite exhausting, even for, you know, an able-bodied person, but especially for a disabled person. And so doing all that, not only for several hours on end, but often for days in a row or months in a row, or at least making a commitment to at least do, say, one day a week for several months is basically impossible when it comes to having a condition like mine, because this condition is so difficult to predict that often, you know, my energy levels will surprise me. I'll start off with the day thinking, right, okay, I've got enough energy. Today's a fairly decent day. I'm going to go out and do all my stuff that I need to do. And then halfway through the day, I suddenly realize, oh, okay, actually today was not such a great day. And then I have to go lie down and it's all terrible. Or, you know, there are some days where I just wake up and I can't even get out of bed, like, not really. Or I just sort of can't get out of the house. So, yeah, so it's not really a condition that allows you to go out and do something like acting. And that has been incredibly disheartening to me because I got my conditions basically when I was 18, and I did do a couple of auditions around that age, but didn't really get into anything, got a bit disheartened, and then sort of decided to set it aside for later, not knowing that my health would get worse and effectively stop me from being able to do it later. But, you know, you can't see these things. Hindsight is 2020. By the way, sorry for the state of my hair. But, yeah, so basically I haven't really done any proper acting since I was a teenager. But when I was a teenager, I really enjoyed it. And it was something that felt really fulfilling to me, even in the context of just school classes, really. And when I sort of got to the point where I was no longer doing acting as school classes or anything else, really, it felt like something was missing from my life. And I still get those pangs where I look at you know, I watch a movie and most people, I assume, are watching that movie and thinking, this is really good, I'm getting into the story, yada yada. And although I do that, there are certain movies where I just see a particular scene and I think, you know what? I really want to act that scene. I really miss acting, and it gives me like a pain in my heart to like look at this and think, oh my god, those people are doing something that I would love to do. Of course, I might be a bit of a crap actor, and honestly, I haven't acted in so long, I have no idea how good I am. I probably am a bit trash, but that being said, what's important is your passion for it. So, you know, and I'm not getting right ahead started on getting into professional acting or anything like that. This is you know, I'm starting on the amateur level. Hey, so what is Spoonie Shakespeare? The big question. Finally getting to the answer after almost 8 minutes, which you've probably been going, God, I wish you'd just hurry up and stop rambling. Hey, yeah. So Spoonie Shakespeare is a thing. It's a hashtag. It's a movement. It's a project. It's a idea, a concept. I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing made by my dear friend Emrys, who I'm probably going to link in the description below. Probably their Instagram or something like that. I don't know. So me and Emrys have been friends, or rather, Emrys and I, pardon me, incorrect grammar. Emrys and I have been friends, best friends basically, since school, and my health has been terrible for a bit longer than Emrys's health has been terrible, but Emrys's health is kind of getting to the point where it's kind of reaching the same point as me, basically, where they, you know, are having serious difficulties participating in regular aspects of everyday life that able-bodied people take as granted. And their condition is not the same as mine. It is different, and it's not my place to get into it. So if you're curious, go check out their stuff. I'm sure they'll talk about it or something like that. But yes, they are also incredibly interested in acting, and always have been, really. And it was their brainchild to think of, right, you know, we were talking about how, you know, we've been mentioning a bit about how we both miss acting and stuff like that, and how, and basically, they came up with this idea for Spoonies to get together and produce something involved with acting. So the name Spoonie Shakespeare is a bit of a misnomer. It's not strictly about Shakespeare. It's just the fact that, number one, it's alliterative. Cool. And number two, Shakespeare is out of copyright, so that kind of avoids any legal issues, yada yada. Although there's other things that are out of copyright, and personally, I'm quite interested in doing some Oscar Wilde stuff because I'm a massive Oscar Wilde fan. For anyone who doesn't know, which you probably already do know, because if you're watching this video, you're probably one of my friends, and if you're one of my friends, you know I'm a fan of Oscar Wilde. Yeah. Anyway, so, Spoonie Shakespeare. Spoonie Shakespeare is gonna be, basically, Emrys' idea is gonna be that it's gonna be based on Instagram, because Instagram is quite easy to get short videos out on, stuff like that. You know, to just film a thing, stick it on, no need for like complicated editing, faffing about, that kind of thing. And it's going to be basically two Spoonies. So it's going to start off with Emrys and I. Two Spoonies sitting in their rooms doing some acting. So, for instance, we take a scene from, I don't know, The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Heart, I love that play. And we take a scene and we assign our characters. So one of us then does an acting. So I film myself reading a line, you know, obviously not off a book, presumably. I would like look at the line and memorize it before I actually do anything. I read the line and I go, you know, okay, I don't actually have it memorized, but let's imagine, what does Oscar Wilde normally say in his plays? Oh, look how terribly intellectual I am, and very snooty. And also, poor people are funny. And then I put that on Instagram. I tag Emrys, because Emrys is my acting buddy, and I hashtag it Spoonie Shakespeare or whatever. And then Emrys watches it rather, and then reads out their own line and goes, yes, poor people are terribly funny, but you know what's funnier? Rich people. And then they send it to me. And we go back and forth, and we basically do a scene without either of us needing to leave our rooms. Awesome! So, obviously it's not going to be polished, and it's not going to be something that, you know, necessarily people are gonna want to watch as a full movie, but number one, it's fun. Number two, Spoonies can do things that they didn't have the ability to do because, you know, doing it on your own is kind of difficult most of the time, unless you're doing like a one-person play or you're doing like a monologue or something. So this is sort of a way of getting Spoonies to connect with one another, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what this is. This is like Adam and God on the Sistine Chapel connecting with one another. Yeah. And yeah, so, and number three, it basically shows that we may have talent. We may not, but if we do have talent, it's a way of us showing off that talent, which can be quite exciting, I think, and prove that, you know, not necessarily all of us are fallen by the wayside. You know, we can still participate and we can still make our own thing, and if society refuses to accommodate us, then we'll just have to accommodate ourselves. Hey, that's how it works. So that's pretty exciting, and I'm sure that Emrys wants to get as many Spoonies involved in this as possible. And I think as a sort of creative acting project, it's quite exciting, and it doesn't necessarily have to be restricted to Instagram videos. I'm also thinking, like, maybe somewhere down the line we could do some voice acting stuff, because again, that's another thing that doesn't require you to leave your room, and also something I've always been interested in. And you know, there's just all sorts of stuff that basically can develop from this exciting thing. People writing their own plays for Spoonies to act in, you know, people supporting other Spoonies. Spoonie community, anybody? Spoonie community is quite small at the moment, I think, which is odd because I know a lot of Spoonies, but there's not really this sense of like coming together and supporting one another in a way that I'd really like to see, because I personally, for me as a Spoonie, being disabled takes up a lot of my life, and I want to turn that into something that I can have control over, that I can pour my creative energy into. And I do that a little bit with producing a bit of art that's related to Spoonie stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's not really a community, because producing art and sticking it out there doesn't mean that people are going to come and talk to me about it. And I want there to be some communication. I want there to be some interacting, some talking to other Spoonies, not just the ones who are in my direct area and the ones I already know, but, you know, the people who are basically out there. And hopefully I'm going to take this channel into a bit more of a Spoonie focused thing in the future, because up until now, basically, my vlogs have been totally related to transitioning, and that was the primary part of my life for a while. But now that I'm basically, and I found this since basically I socially transitioned at the age of 18, 19, whatever, that being trans is not really a thing that I feel the need to talk about anymore. I'm on T now and I'm making vlogs about that, but that's like kind of it basically. I don't really have anything else to talk about outside of that. There's not really anything that I feel the need to discuss, and it's kind of like, well, I kind of got to the point in my life where it's no longer something that I really feel I have to get off my chest. And it's just a part of my life that I live with and that I carry on with, and it's not really a big focus. But being disabled has become a huge focus of my life, and that's kind of what it has to be, because coming from a life where I was an incredibly high achiever and I was doing a lot of things, and I was very career driven, I had all these ideas about what I was going to become, and then suddenly being forced to restrict that due to the nature of these conditions that were launched upon me without any formal warning is incredibly difficult, and it is something that has come to the forefront of my mind, because you can't really ignore it. It's something that you need to talk about, and something that you're constantly thinking about, because I don't know about you, but I'm constantly thinking, you know, oh my god, there's all these things that I used to be able to do, but now I can't do because I'm disabled, and it really sucks, and it turns into like a horrible cycle, a vicious cycle. But yes, that's something for another video, I think. So, for now, I'm going to end this here, because I'm talking about Spoonie Saturday and everything like that. Spoonie Saturday? Spoonie Saturday. Maybe we should make the Shakespeare stuff on Saturday. I don't know why I said Saturday. Oh, it's because it's Saturday today. So technically this video is Spoonie Saturday because it's Saturday and I made it and I'm a Spoonie. But yes, so see you in the next video. Bye guys. Please check out Emrys' stuff. Bye.